Welcome back to J Tendencies. I am your host, Jay Suave,
And I am Jay Reese.
and it's the day after a very sad day. The NFL is over. However, the Chiefs became a dynasty last night, winning their third Super Bowl in 5 years, and they're going for the three-peat next year. You have Kelsey coming back, Andy Reid coming back. How are you feeling about this, Jaden?
Man, I was excited yesterday, man. I hate to see another dynasty. We just got done with the Brady dynasty. Now we're getting into the Patrick Mahomes dynasty. But hey man, it was a good game yesterday, 25-22. If you saw the little NTTV newsreel that we had reposted on our stories, my score of 38-14 was a little bit off. But the Chiefs still ended up winning. The Patrick Mahomes still ended up getting Super Bowl MVP. And before I get real deep into it, I want to ask you how would you feel about the Super Bowl and how you feel about, the season being over and that dynasty going into next season.
um, I like how it's a dynasty. I like how Mahomes has three rings now. I was kind of sick that CMC didn't get his ring, but at the same time, anytime the Panthers play the Niners, it's just like we get 50 balled like every time. So it's like McCaffrey going in there. It's like he's on a good team, but you even got guys like Steve Wilkes over there, and it's just like you want them to win, but at what cost, you know? Like if
Hmm.
I would have seen the Panthers post, congratulations, Christian McCaffrey on winning a Super Bowl, I would have been like, our team sucks. We have like no respect. You feel me? But
Yeah, I
like
feel you.
like literally that's literally like if your team posted winning a Super Bowl for another team, you're literally congratulating them while you're sitting on the couch, you know?
Facts.
But I was excited for Mahomes. I won't say that I like really wanted anyone to win because I really didn't care, but I was just hoping for a good game, which it was. Mahomes was 34 for 46, 333 yards, two touchdowns, one pick, and getting the clutch first downs at the end,
Don't
including the
forget,
fourth.
don't forget the 66 rushing, 7.3 yards a carry for Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes, the
off
leading
nine
rusher,
carries too.
the
Nine
leading
carries.
rusher for the Kansas City Chiefs.
He got the fourth and one conversion to keep the drive alive, yo. In the third and sixth that happened before that, I think the 49ers brought like seven guys
Hmm.
and it looked bad in the backfield and somehow they got the first down. But just speaking on that, Mahomes has three Super Bowl wins, three Super Bowl MVPs. Are we in the midst of this GOAT convo for Mahomes, Jaden?
Obviously, we are. What's it called? Patrick Mahomes. People were saying that he was in the GOAT conversation before this even happened. So this just cemented himself deeper in the GOAT conversation. And now, if there was really a question between one and two, it's definitely now it's Brady and Mahomes. Because Mahomes, three Super Bowls, three Super Bowl MVPs, all before the age of 30. Think about it. Think about if he was able to play as long as Brady, like if he's down 45 years old and still in the league, slinging the rock. Imagine how
Mahomes
many
coming back at 38 years old for ring eight.
exactly like if Patrick Mahomes stays on this trajectory for the rest of his career and plays just as long as Brady did till he's 45, which it could happen, but maybe not just because Patrick Mahomes is a little bit more mobile and that's a little bit more taxing on your body than what Brady did. But Brady did play against big hitters, you know what I'm saying? We have big hitters in the league now, but not compared to when Brady was in the league back when he was starting out because them boys were taking heads off.
Yeah.
But I think Patrick Mahomes, if give us another 2, 3 years, and we'll have that conversation. That conversation will be even more in depth about
Yeah.
yeah, Mahomes is the MVP or Brady's the MVP. But yeah, I thought Patrick Mahomes played really well. It was a little rocky at first, because it was like looking like the Tampa Bay Super Bowl because Patrick Mahomes was evading the pocket, leaving the pocket way too quickly. But and the 49ers did a really good job at containing him because they made sure that the contains really stayed as contains, so Patrick Mahomes couldn't roll out like he wanted to, and Patrick Mahomes wasn't trying to step up in the pocket like he normally does. He felt uncomfortable, and that was a really good game plan. But like any good team, they're able to adjust in the second half. Patrick Mahomes went off. Brock Purdy, 255 yards, one touchdown on the game. No interceptions, but it wasn't a crazy game. But he didn't do play bad at all. What do you think about Brock Purdy and how he played last night?
I mean, I just thought he played like a game manager, you know? Shout out Cam Newton.
Y'all, they questioned that man, the former
Clean,
MVP.
clean sweep, clean sweep these boys. Dak, Purdy, Tua, game managers. Cam was right. Mahomes MVP, bro. Like, come on, bro. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm not gonna say Purdy played bad, but it was game managing. You only
Yeah.
lost by three. It's not like you would have won your team the game, but you also didn't lose your team the
Mhm.
game. So,
Yeah.
just like Cam said. But
He's
even
he's a
speaking of,
he's a he's a slightly better Jimmy G, but
I think he's a bit better. But
a
speaking of
bit
the
better.
49ers, the title win, it seems like the title window is kind of closing for them. Do you think they should be worried or what?
I think so, just because how much money they're throwing out there. Because you have the best running back in the league. You were paying Debo Samuel top. I think he's getting paid top 10 receiver money, and
Mhm.
you're gonna be paying Brandon Ayuk that pretty soon because Brandon Ayuk's his contract's gonna expire, and he's a better wide receiver than Debo Samuel. So I think he should get more money than Debo. George Kittle, a top tight end in the league, he's gonna get money. Fred Warner, top money. Nick Bosa's getting top money. And then that's how you lose a lot of key pieces like Dre Greenlaw. Unfortunately, he got hurt in the first
Bro, that
half.
looks so bad.
Mhm.
It
Not
didn't look
he
so
wasn't
bad. It
even
was
in the
just
game yet.
bad.
Yeah, he was running onto the field, which is really unfortunate. I've never seen an injury like that happen before in my life.
Freak
So
accident.
yeah, I feel real bad for him because I know he's beating himself up right now, wishing he was able to play. Think because he would have made a big difference because he was an All-Pro linebacker and he was probably going to guard Kelsey the rest of the game. But he's going to be a free agent. Chase Young, he's going to be a free agent. And you have more free agents across the board. So I think your window is definitely closing right now, and this was probably your best chance to win that bowl. Because then once Purdy contract expires, you're gonna lose even more pieces because you're gonna have to think, am I gonna pay Purdy all this money to be their quarterback for the foreseeable future, or are we gonna let Purdy go so we can keep some of these other pieces? Because then once Purdy gets that money, because right now he's on the very minimum because he was the last pick in the draft. So
Yeah.
like you could have lucked more into it, right? So it should be an interesting thing to see in the next couple of years. Also, these players are all aging. You saw they didn't get hit with the injury bug during the season, but you saw those injuries start piling up in the Super Bowl. And I'm afraid it's gonna happen throughout the rest of these guys' career because they're just not hoping they do it, but I'm just saying because they're getting older and older, and Debo's already had a track record of getting hurt, and I'm afraid he's gonna continue to get hurt going forward just because he's getting older and older, and that just happens when you get older. So what do you think about that, Jalen?
I think the title window is closing for him. I just think I just think whenever you have all these guys that you do have to pay, we've seen it with our teams before. And whenever my team in the Super Bowl, our team wasn't even that great. It was our defense and like our quarterback. But whenever you see teams like that, like basically super teams, you just see them like kind of disassemble, and then you'll be like, yeah, this team is good. Like whenever the Rams won the Super Bowl, everyone got injured and they went 5-12. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's just bad. Like whenever you see stuff like that happen, you start to make moves on guys, you get new players, you see them do good, it just switches the whole depth chart. So I think the 49ers should be worried.
Hey, I wanted
But
to talk about real quick about some studs that were out there on the Chiefs defense, right? Because
yes,
they were
bro.
able to hold Debo Samuel to 3 receptions, 33 yards, George Kittle, 2 receptions, 4 yards, and Brandon
Came back
Ayuk,
with
3 receptions,
vengeance.
49 yards. And you know who really stood out to me? To these two players. First off, we have Chris Jones. 4 tackles, 2 quarterback hits. Doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're watching the game, Chris Jones' impact on the game was just
Yeah.
indescribable. Like, bro had so many pressures on Brock Purdy, and bro was just there in his face whenever the moment needed it. And you saw it in the last third and four in the red zone. Like, the first person there was Chris Jones, and that forced Brock Purdy to throw a bad pass, and then they had to settle for three, and then, the rest when Patrick Mahomes went down the field and scored a touchdown on the next drive. So Chris Jones' impact on the game was just indescribable. And the other guy I want to talk about is Trent McDuffie. Three
That
tackles,
boy.
3 pass deflections, and 2 quarterback hits. And he had that one holding call in the overtime period, which, it happens, to the best of them. But Trent McDuffie is a stud. He's a star to watch out for on the rise. Because I've heard his name throughout the season, but I never really, looked too deep into it. But watching him,
Mhm.
especially in the playoffs and watching him in the Super Bowl, that guy is going to be a stud. And with Jarius
Yeah.
Sneed leaving, he's going to be taking over a big spot as that number one cornerback. He's gonna be following those number one receivers, and I think he has the capabilities to do that really well. What do you think?
Most definitely, he was a dog, and they had him. It was like one of the last plays of the game, well, for the 49ers at least. And so Brock Purdy looked at Trent, right?
Mhm.
Trent is backing up, and then Purdy looks back to the center, snaps the ball, and as soon as Purdy looks back to the center, he dashes to the he starts blitzing. And Purdy ain't see him at all, and that's how he got the QB hit. And I'm like, this
Mhm.
guy Trent McDuffie's a
And he
dog.
deflected that pass on the play.
Yes, bro.
Hmm.
It was insane. But even you saw Chris Jones throwing for a first one there, and y'all know I'm a big trenches guy. So like whenever defensive tackles are getting there every play, disrupting quarterback play every single time, it gets frustrating for him. And it's just one of it's DT is one of the most important positions you can have on the field. And Chris Jones being top two, top three at his position is big for this team.
All right,
So
and before we go over to the next topic, I want to talk about two more studs. First off, Travis Kelce in the Taylor Swift Bowl had 9 receptions, 93 yards. Couldn't get me that touchdown for my prize picks bet,
I'm
but
saying,
but that was still a great game by Kelce. After all that drama in the first half, you seen him yelling at Andy Reid, which my mom was tripping like, "Oh, why would he do that? What a horrible person!" Like he didn't mean to knock him over. He was just yelling at his coach. Like players do that all the time, especially in the Super Bowl. The attention's high. He wants to get involved. He knows he's one of the best players in the league. He's the second best player on the team. He knows he needs to get involved in that moment. And then once he started getting involved in the second half, like bro had because he only had 1 reception for 1 yard in the first half. Then
yeah.
bro came out and got 8 receptions and 92 yards in the second half. Like that's a difference Travis Kelce can make on the game. And on the other side of the team ball, we have Christian McCaffrey, your boy. He had 80 rushing yards on 22 carries, 80 receiving yards, 8 receptions, and 1 receiving touchdown. And that boy was going insane. But, they were doing a really good job. The Kansas City Chiefs were doing a good job at limiting his big plays in the run game. Like 22 carries and 80 rushing yards. That's still 80 rushing yards, still a lot, but that's really good from the defense. That's 3.6 yards a carry. What do you think about those two guys in the Super Bowl, Jalen?
CMC, I was wishing he got 2 touchdowns for my parlay.
Oh, me
But
too. We have the same bets. We have the same bets.
but I definitely enjoyed watching him in the Super Bowl. But just because CMC is one of the strongest backs in the league, like watching him trying to carry that whole defense is just like a sight to see. Because he's like 5'11", I'll say like 215 at most, I think.
Bro's a
But
GQ
he's
model.
literally. But I'm watching him. I'm like, this is good to see. Travis Kelce getting on Andy Reid, telling me, "Give me the ball." He's saying how much he loves Andy Reid. But that was definitely a sight to see too, bro. Just glad that he came back out, helped win this game for him. And I was even thinking yesterday, like, even with this Kansas City defense, all these guys are young too. Like, like you got George Karlaftis, Nick Bolton, Trent McDuffie, and there's someone else. And bro, you even got Rashi Rice on offense, bro.
Hmm.
Like these guys have one ring for Rashi Rice. The other guys won 2 Super Bowls their first 2 years.
Hmm.
That's insane to think about.
And you
Isaiah
think
Pacheco too.
And think about Chris Jones. Chris Jones is still pretty young too, because he when he was still a young DT in the league. He got his first string on that first Super Bowl with against the Niners. Bro played through his contract and his surprise not surprising the last year of his contract he goes and beats the team he won his very first ring against. So that's a good thing for Chris Jones going into contract negotiations. And think about this: the Chiefs did this without we've been saying it all year, a really bad receiving core, right? They went out there wanted with a really not great receiving core. The 49ers best player, Kadarius Toney, was at home watching the game because they didn't.
Kadarius Toney has 2 rings.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Hall of Fame, bro. Just haul him right now.
But yeah, like think about that. Their receiver core was one of the worst, not one of the worst, but one of the least impactful this whole season. And they were able to win a Super Bowl with this. Imagine next year if they go out and get some pieces like we've seen it before the trade deadline during the regular season. Like what if they went out and got Mike Evans? Like
That'd
imagine
be insane.
that being like they're gonna three-peat and I'm gonna cry my eyes out.
Bro, Bryce Young gonna handle that. Bryce Young gonna handle that. Come
Bro, y'all
on.
about to lose in Brazil week 1 to
Bro, we aren't
us.
going to Brazil, bro.
Bro,
If we go to Brazil week 1, Bryce is winning. Easy work. Easy work. We're not losing to no model, bro.
bro, you're gonna lose to the best looking quarterback in the league.
Pause.
My bad, my bad. But but yeah, the only last thing I want to say about that game was 49ers, y'all was talking trash all season. Y'all beat us in the regular season. Thought that was it. Thought, oh, we're in the Super Bowl. We're gonna show the Eagles how you beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And y'all lost on the same play that they beat the Eagles with 2 times. They ran it on us 2 times that year. They ran it on y'all on the last play of the game. Bro, it brought a tear to my eye. It was a tear of joy. I was like, Patrick Mahomes, thank you for shutting these fans up. Then you see the 49ers fans arguing with other people right after the game ended. Like, bro, I love it. The team's collapsing. The downfall. I love it.
I'm telling you, bro, that window is closing. But going into our next topic, we saw NFL honors this past Thursday. We've seen some guys who were deserving of their awards, maybe some guys who weren't so deserving of their awards. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to start off with the MVP, Big Truz, Lamar Jackson. And at least I said this. I knew he was going to win MVP. I said he should win MVP whenever Dak was the front runner.
Actually, Jalen
And
Hurts was the front runner at that time. So just wanted to say that.
who,
Just wanted to
who,
say that Jalen Hurts was the front runner at that time. But anyways.
who is Jalen Hurts? No, but I knew he was going to win MVP. And it seemed like before like it happened, everyone was on board for him to win MVP. But whenever it actually happened, people didn't seem as like welcoming. They were like, well, what about this? Like he only had 24 touchdowns and 3,000 yards passing, basically. But it was like people weren't saying this whenever he just went out there and beat what's it called? Like 10 teams over 500
hmm
this year. So I guess I really don't understand, but like most people that I saw who did it though, all the same type of people who were in favor of Josh Allen winning it. Like, come on
Like,
now.
man, Josh Allen, that one guy that voted for Josh Allen, ruined
Yes.
Lamar Jackson being the first 2-time unanimous MVP. And like I understand why, but bro, in that situation, you just gotta vote for Lamar Jackson. You just gotta
He's just a hater, bro.
he's just a hater. But yeah, Lamar Jackson deserved that award. Whoever's saying otherwise is absolutely crazy. Lamar Jackson a stud through the air, underground, and it's a shame how he went out, in the playoffs with the 6 running back carries and them not playing their game. But you can't take away from the fact that Lamar played outstanding all season. He had some down games, but really all quarterbacks did. It was not really a great year for quarterbacks this year, and Lamar won that award for a reason. He was the best quarterback playing the game until the playoffs. Because then Patrick Mahomes woke up and said, I'm gonna do my thing. But
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, that award's totally deserving. I don't think anyone else could have really deserved it other than Lamar. Maybe the only other person would have been the offensive player of the year, which was Christian McCaffrey, your boy, and Super Bowl loser, you know. But
Crazy.
But Christian McCaffrey, that award was really deserving. But you could make a case that Tyreek Hill should have won the award just because he was so close to that 2,000 yard receiving season. But he didn't get it. And Christian McCaffrey, I think he was just more impactful to his team. So I think Offensive Player of the Year is really deserving because he was really in talks and he really could have won MVP. But I want to say one more thing about a snub. Not that they should have won the award, but they weren't even in consideration for the award. And not talking about AJ Brown. AJ Brown wasn't in consideration for the award at all, which is crazy to me. When he had a record breaking season this year with the 6 games over 125 receiving yards. I'm like, bro, like you're not gonna consider him. I understand why he didn't win. I didn't think he was gonna win at all. Right? I knew Christian McCaffrey was gonna win the award. But you have to consider this man, right? You have to consider this man. But Um, yeah, what do you think about the offensive player of the year, Jalen?
Yeah, bro. I mean, for me, y'all even know I was rooting for my boy to win it. 21 touchdowns on the year. Didn't lead because you got guys like Raheem Mostert getting the ball. And other than that, led the league in scrimmage yards and basically led his team to the one seed. This team wouldn't be the one seed without Christian McCaffrey. And it's just one of those things where he's just the difference maker on the team. There was no other choice, and he was in MVP talks. And if you're in MVP talks and you're not winning MVP, you better win another award. Um, we're gonna
Um,
go ahead. What
no, go ahead,
you
go
guys?
ahead.
Yeah. So we're gonna switch up to Defensive Player of the Year, Miles Garrett. Before I spread my knowledge on this, I think we have different opinions, but I'll go ahead and let you speak your truth.
Right, this is what I wanted to win the award. Like we said it in a mid-season thing. This is the first guy that I got right on the awards. One out of two, because I got 2 out of 6 right on guesses. So keep me away from Vegas. But
Mhm.
Miles Garrett, 42 tackles, 14 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 37 pressures, 30 quarterback hits, and 17 tackle for losses. And it's about time Miles Garrett won the award. You know, Miles Garrett's been a stud ever since he got in the league, and he's always in consideration for this award. And Michael Parsons even said it after the fact. You know, Miles Garrett, his impact on the game is, you can't see it all on the stat sheet, right? He's taking triple teams, double teams, all that, and then allowing other people to get to the quarterback. But just Miles Garrett, when he's on the field, you've seen the clip when he's going back and forth across the line of scrimmage, and you have the tight end following him wherever he goes so he could get the double, so he can block him. And they had to call a timeout because they couldn't get it set in time. That's just Miles Garrett's impact on the game, right? You have to double team him, or he's gonna get to the sack really easily. Bro is a freaking monster. You seen him without his shirt on. Like bro is just a beast. Bro can vert dunk straight up. Like bro is just a complete beast, man. And I think I know who you're gonna talk about in regards to this award and Miles Garrett and all that. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, I won't necessarily say that I won't necessarily say that he got snubbed, but I do think that TJ Watt did get snubbed from this award. This is the second time it's happened since 2020, whenever Aaron Donald won it. And I get the argument, all the advanced analytics, who's getting double team or who's getting triple team more. But then at the same time, stats also don't lie. And I get all the double team pressures, percentages, all that. But that's basically saying that TJ Watt doesn't have an effect on the game either. Just
Mm-hmm.
because they don't double team TJ Watt or triple team TJ Watt, that's not TJ Watt's fault. He's been at more tackles, assists, and sacks than Miles Garrett this year. And I get that's like a smokescreen, but even got passes defended, interceptions. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I just feel like he did better, I guess.
68 tackles, 19 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 1 interception, 53 pressures, 39 quarterback hits, and 19 tackle for losses.
Literally a monster, bro.
Mm-hmm.
TJ Watt should really have won this award 3 times by now, and he only has one, which is last year. But
Really? I thought he
even
had like two. Whoa.
he's only won once.
That's actually crazy. That is crazy.
That's
I
insane.
thought he won like at least twice. That's crazy.
But yeah, and that's gonna bring us into our rookies of the league. The Texans had a complete sweep, which means they got their picks right during the draft. They got CJ Stroud winning Offensive Rookie of the Year and Will Anderson winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. And Will Anderson came alive at the end of the season, finishing with 45 tackles, 7 sacks. CJ Stroud, 4,108 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 5 picks. I give the only challenge to CJ Stroud was Puka Nakua, but I don't think Puka got snubbed or anything. It was just these awards are like QB awards. So
Mm-hmm.
like it was bad, but honestly, I think CJ deserved it more. They're just two great players that brought up their teams this year.
Yeah, same thing you said, man. CJ Stroud had an incredible season, but so did Puka. Puka Nacua had the best rookie wide receiving season as a player of all time, right? Bro broke the record for receptions and yards in his season for a rookie. And that's just great. That's incredibly hard to do. You know, all first off, praise to Matt Stafford giving him that rock. Any receiver their best friend is Matt Stafford when they're playing for him. You know, Kenny Galladay, Calvin Johnson, even though Calvin Johnson was just a stud regardless. Cooper Cup, and now Puka Nacua. You know, you could say it was because of Matt Stafford why Puka Nacua had such a great season. But at the same time, give respect to Puka Nacua. Bro was out there making tough catches. Bro was out there running great routes. So I really think it was up in the air. And we were talking about this earlier this in the week that I think that they should have split the award, you know, because they've done that before. So both CJ Stroud and Puka Nacua should have won the award. But you also made a great point when we said this earlier in the week. Was talking about Justin Jefferson and Justin Herbert. How if any other season they should have split an award should have been that season. That should have been another season where they should have split the award. But I just think it's unfair that Puka Nacua is not going home with any hardware after having a record-breaking season.
Yeah.
So I really think that was in my head. It was one of the reasons why I think it's a snub. I'm not saying that CJ Stroud didn't deserve it, but I also think Puka Nacua deserved it as equally as much. So I don't think it's fair that only he got the award. I really think this was one of the situations where they should have split the award.
Most definitely. And that's gonna bring us into comeback player of the year.
Oh
Getting
wait.
into
My bad, my
what?
bad. I thought we were gonna talk a little bit more about defensive rookie of the year because
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to talk about my boy Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter,
Boy.
raw. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, first off, let me say Will Anderson also had a really good season, and he in most of the stats, not Jalen Carter, Will Anderson had beat him by like one or two like tackles or whatnot. So right here, looking at the stats, Will Anderson 34 tackles, 7 sacks, 64 pressures, 22 QB hits, 10 forced fumbles. Jalen Carter 33 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 8 tackles for losses, 47 pressures, and 9 quarterback hits. So first off, Jalen Carter had more turnovers than Will Anderson, but I get it. It's Will Anderson had a rough first half of the season, but had a great second half of the season. When voting started, Jalen Carter had a really great first half of the season. It really dropped off during the second half. And I'm not saying Will Anderson didn't deserve it. You know, the Eagles fan in me had to bring out Jalen Carter, give him some respect, be like, hey, he should have won that award, man. I should have go back, do a recount, voter fraud. But yeah, that's all I have to
Ain't
say
no way
about
this
that
man said
situation.
voter fraud.
That's all I have to say about that situation. Just wanted to get that off my chest real quick.
But yeah, even with that, I was more of a fan of Kobe Turner than Jalen Carter this year, at least. And at one point in the league, Kobe Turner was up 27 tackles, six more quarterback hits, and three more sacks than Jalen Carter too. But and I get that you have Aaron Donald on your side, so it helps you out just a little bit. But with the Eagles' defensive line, that's a good defensive line too. But whenever you just fall off that whole second half of the season, you got guys like Will Anderson jumping up and climbing. Because Will Anderson was injured at one point too, but you guys like that, you're definitely not gonna win at the end. Because no one's
Mm,
gonna remember those first. Well, you'll remember the games, but not as much as how you
yeah,
finish. It's always how you finish.
because how you fin, especially when towards the end, that's when voting starts happening, and people gonna think of the what recently happened more than what happened 2 months ago in the beginning of the season. You feel me?
Yeah, and that will get us into the comeback player of the year. Who really deserved this one has been skeptical over the past couple days since Thursday. Joe Flacco ended up winning this award. For me, it was just whoever the NFL chose to win, I was cool with it.
Mm.
Because if it was Damar Hamlin, of course, he basically died on the field.
And
And
came back to life and is out there playing football again, which
yeah,
is incredible.
went out there and played pro football against the best players in the world. That's impressive, especially going through something like that.
Mm.
Not many people can say that they did that.
No
to
one
be
can
able to
say
come
they did
back
that.
to literally to be able to come back and say that definitely got to be comeback player of the year. But Joe Flacco coming back, we were talking about this man in like week 14, talking about how this man is a stud for the Browns.
Mhm.
And just the last couple years, he wasn't even like for real playing. He was on the Jets with Zach Wilson, really not doing much.
Bro was on the
But he brought,
Eagles for 3 games, then got traded
yeah,
back to the Jets.
but he brought life to this Browns team. And whenever they were in a time of need, a time of hope, he brought it to that team, which is
Mhm.
why I can see him winning comeback player of the year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't really have any objection to this award, but I saw someone make a good point, just like how the NBA has the most improved player of the year. They should really add that award in there too. So people like Joe Flacco and Baker Mayfield could go up for that award, like most improved player, because they were on the like they weren't on doing good previously, and they had a resurgence, and they came back to life. So you could have Baker Mayfield and Joe Flacco over there fighting for that most improved player award, and then have the comeback player of the year award for the people that go through like real bad injuries and stuff like that, like the Damar Hamlin situation, like he saw with Alex Smith, who had that horrible knee injury and he won that award. So I think going forward they should try to implement most improved player of the year award. I think that will really help clear up a lot of the discussion and controversy surrounding this award, you know, going forward.
Yeah,
And then it's just another award, to go out there and strive for.
most definitely. And I got one more guy for the honors, coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski. And there was really no like debate with this. Well, I'll say there was because you got the Ravens, Harbaugh winning what was they won 13 games this
Hmm.
year. I was a big fan of Stefanski just because at one point in the season it looked like they had no hope. They lost Watson, they lost Dorian Thompson. Didn't look good at all. People on their offense were getting injured. They lost Chubb, and they still managed to win what? They also won
I think it
12
was
games,
10 game.
correct?
I thought it was 10.
Was it? I thought they won more than
Yeah,
10.
I think it might have been 11 or 12. You're right.
But a team looking like that kind of depleted at your best positions, and you're able to still make the playoffs. It didn't work too well against the Texans, but Kevin Stefanski is definitely the best coach in the league, I think, as of right now. Taking a team like that to
Hmm.
the playoffs, I think is really impressive.
I think this is the one award that we really have a real difference in opinion on, because I think that DeMeco Ryan got snubbed just because this team was really battling for the number one spot last year, number one pick, right? They and then Lovey Smith had them win the last game, and then they ended up getting the number two pick, which they got their new quarterback with.
Yeah,
And then I just think that he should have won the award, right? They were one of the worst teams in the league last year. They really were the worst team in the league last year, but they decided to win that last game so they wouldn't get the number one pick, which ended up working out for them. Then you get DeMeco Ryan come in and turn this poverty franchise, who no one thought would be good so fast, and be able to take them into the playoffs to win the division. First off, they won the division, and then they got a home playoff game, and then they were like that's just unheard of, right? Like that's not something you think would happen in the first year of a rebuild, but that's exactly what happened. So I think DeMeco Ryan deserves a lot of credit for what he's done over there in Houston. He changed the culture, and I just think it's incredible what's happened.
that's what Dave Canal is gonna be next year, baby. Come on now. Why are you looking like that? Switching over to NBA news, the Celtics are the first team to get 40 wins this season. The boys are up right now. They're 41 and 12. And Jason Tatum actually just got put as number 5 in the MVP rankings. I'm excited for that because I don't even think he's been in like the race, but it hasn't been like anything crazy all year.
I think he
But
was he was fine when we talked about it last week.
yeah, averaging 27 a game, 8.5 boards, 4.5 assists, just locked in. He finna get up
That's it.
there.
That's it.
Hey, where's Jimmy?
Jimmy's hurt, bro. He's dealing
Where's
with some
Jimmy?
family stuff.
Oh yeah, ooh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's my bad. But other guys you got Luca at number 4, Giannis at number 3, Shai at number 2. Insane season he's having. Then Jokic at number one. Who else were we really expecting?
And
Jokic.
I'm hoping what's it called wins it. Shy. I think that'd be a really nice change of pace.
Yeah, but Jokic is gonna mess around, average a triple double.
I
He's
know,
only
I know,
man's is only one assist away.
I know.
Yeah, bro. Then other than that, the Spurs are playing right now, and Wemby has a triple double with blocks. So that's pretty insane.
That's
I'll
a
say that.
bad man right there.
A very, very bad man. Anything NBA worthy you want to talk about, Jaden?
Yes, sir. As we know, last week the NBA trade deadline came and went, and with that, we got some interesting moves. Nothing really crazy happened this trade deadline, because a lot of the crazy trade, like the really good trades, happened early in the year with the James Harden, the Terry Rozier for me. So it's just been like a lot of role players getting moved around and stuff. But some of these are like really good additions to the teams that they're going to. Just like the Knicks. The Knicks are looking kind of scary now because they got RJ Barrett earlier in the
Um,
season, and now they just got Bojan Bogdanovic and Alex Burks and
RJ Barrett's what's it called? Raptor, bro.
RJ Barrett. Who the, I'm probably, OG I can't say his that. I can never
OG
say his last name.
Anunoby.
Yeah, him, bro.
Yeah.
But that Knicks team is like really scary. If anyone's gonna give any trouble to the Celtics, it's gonna be the 76ers and it's gonna be the New York Knicks. So I would say the Miami Heat, but I don't know how we're playing right now. We're a little on and off. But we'll worry about that later. You feel me? We have Patrick Beverly going to the Bucks. He little feud with Dame, but they squashed that because obviously you can't be having that feud, that beef when y'all playing together. PJ Washington to the Mavs, and Grant Williams and Seth Curry to the Hornets. I was surprised that they dealt Grant Williams because they just signed him, and I didn't think he was playing bad or anything like that. But I heard it was a team chemistry issue. So we'll see what happens if they play again this season. Let's see. I want to see the tensions. I want to see the tensions. I want to see the feuds. I want to see the beefs.
Loki, I need the NBA to get back to what it was, bro.
And then Seth Curry wearing his dad's number in Charlotte, you know, still not his favorite son because Steph's still in the league.
That's
But,
crazy.
but I like Seth Curry. Seth Curry is a really good role player. He's not as consistent as a shooter as his brother, but he can still offer you really good spot up shots when you need him to hit them. And I've liked him
Spe-
for a minute.
Speaking of Steph, the shot he hit with
Oh, the it
the
was like
other night,
the turnaround on the bad pass, bro. No
yes,
dribbles, turned
bro.
around, deep three in between two people.
Butter.
Crazy.
Like this man, he's insane. And to think this team is like 500 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's insane to think about. The Suns really gotta run for their money.
Mm-hmm.
They
Man,
want a all-star.
honest, the Suns. I forgot they dealt some people, and I saw Utah Watanabe went to. I don't remember. I think he went to the Pistons or something. I know he went to a bad team, but the Suns traded away some depth to get some solid role players. I know. Excuse me. Dennis Schroeder went to the Nets. Dinwiddie, he went to the Houston and then he got waived. And then Dinwiddie is now going to the Los Angeles Lakers to try to help LeBron and the Lakers get back on track. Because, they're still moving in an upward trajectory right now after having that mean slump they had last month or a couple months ago, in December, January.
They're trying to get back up by acquiring the worst dude with the field goal. The guy with the worst field goal percentage.
Hey, hopefully he's able to bring something to that team, whatever they're missing, maybe some defense. But we'll see what happens in the next few games as he gets used to the team and whatnot. You got Gordon Hayward to the Thunder, pretty good shooter, really good shooter from the perimeter, going to the Thunder, who's already a really good team right now. Who is in the I think it's a four-way, isn't it a four-way tie right now in the West between the Thunder, the Clippers,
Yeah, it's like
Wolves,
Thunder, Clippers,
Wolves,
Timberwolves,
and it
and
is Nuggets.
Nuggets. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just building onto that team with playoff aspirations, title aspirations. You saw the bet I sent you earlier. Some dude could win $1 million this year as long as the Thunder win the finals, or
That's
he can get
not
twenty
gonna
one
happen, bro.
thousand. He can get $21,000 right now if he takes the money. He takes his money out,
I
cashes
think
out right now.
I would just cash out.
I'm
Seriously.
letting it ride. I'm already this far in it. I'm invested. I'm letting it ride. All
Bro,
my bets hit yesterday. Trust me,
bro, that's a low key. That could hit, but it won't.
bro. But look. I think because he put $100 down on it, right? Like, yeah, he
Yeah.
could win 21. He could win $21,000 right now. It's whatever. But bro has like 1.7 mil on the line, Jay. I'm risking it all, bro. Off $100 bet, I'm risking
Look,
it all.
look, you $100. You've been doing it for that long because he bet on the Rangers to win the
Hmm.
championship too. So he probably put
Exactly.
that bet down a minute ago.
It was the Texans, Chiefs, and the Thunder. So I'm letting it ride. I'm letting it ride.
That's still
I'm
insane,
I'm
though.
full sending it.
That's insane to
Wow.
me, bro. I would probably cash out. I ain't gonna lie. Actually,
Bro, that
I'd wait till playoffs to cash out.
that's a difference between you and me, bro. I'm letting it ride the whole way. If I lose, I lose. But I'm not gonna lose.
That
I'm
bet
not
is
gonna
definitely
lose.
going to lose.
Nah.
But yeah,
But what else? Last one we have right here is Buddy Hield going to the 76ers in a trade. And Kyle Lowry is also going to the 76ers off of a buyout from the Hornets. So Kyle Lowry coming back to the East. And you know, now we have to face him probably in the playoffs going against the Heat. And if he goes crazy against us, I'm gonna be very upset.
he will, bro. Trust.
Bro, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Bro, what makes me mad is that like between like the eighth seed,
Hmm.
eighth, ninth, and 10th, it's always like the Bulls and the Hawks, bro.
Hmm.
And like last year, wasn't it? It was y'all, Bulls, and the Hawks, and like the Raptors or something, bro. It's always y'all.
Yeah.
It's always those teams, bro. It makes me so mad. Like, be better. Be better as a team, bro. I'm almost like talking crap about Jimmy again. Where's Bam at, bro? Like, come on
Bro,
now.
Bam's playing good. Bam. I will talk about Bam in the next topic.
Yeah, bro. And getting into that, it is going to be y'all have seen this past week all-star selections. We are back to East versus West. And on the team East, we have Giannis, Embiid. I don't know if he's gonna play. We have Tyrese
Not gonna play.
Halliburton, Damian Lillard, and Jason Tatum, my dog. On Team West, we have LeBron, Jokic, Luca, Kevin Durant, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm thinking West sweeps these boys. Easy.
Yeah, West has is deep. I'm not gonna lie. They have most of the studs, most of the young players coming off the bench, and they have not most of the they have a lot of the good young players in the West. And then off the bench, you have Curry, PG, Kawhi. Like that's just crazy. Like look at the reserves on the West. You have Devin Booker, Curry, AD, Ant, PG, Kawhi, and Cat. And then the reserves for the East, you have Bam, Paolo, Scotty, Jalen Brown, Brunson, Maxi, Donovan Mitchell, and Trey Young. Like, like I'm not gonna lie, I like the how the East is looking right now, but the West is just crazy stacked. And
Yeah.
then that's just how it is. Like that's just like the what's it called? That's like in the NFL. The AFC is way more stacked than the NFC. You could like the NFC however much you want, but the West is just stacked right now.
Yeah, bro. I feel you. Do you feel as if anyone got left out of these games?
I think the selections are pretty good how they are, but the only ones that I could say is I think Dame should be an all-star. I don't think he should be a starter. I think that really should have went to Maxi or Brunson, just because I think right now Dame's not playing. He's getting better, every got used to playing with the Bucks, but he's still not playing as good as he was when he was in Portland. And I think this was probably the worst year for him to be a starter. But at the same time, like the guards in the East are really good, but he is one of the best, the premier guard in the East now ever since he got traded over there. So I can't be too mad. I'm not saying he because he was going to be all star no matter what. It's just whether or not he should be starting. That's what a lot of discourse I've been seeing, and I agree that either Brunson or Maxey should could have got the start because they've been having really great, phenomenal years. The only snubs I really seen really was Harden, Sabonis, and De'Aaron Fox. The fact that neither Sabonis or Fox got in the All Star game is crazy. But you still look. But if you look at the reserves and who's on the team, you can really see why they're not on there because that reserves list is stacked. The only player that I don't think should have made it is Cat, because I'm a Cat hater. But what you think, Jay?
Yeah, bro. For me, I thought I thought the West was completely fine because the West
Hmm.
was just stacked. It's like, who else would you really put there? I get the whole De'Aaron Fox thing, and you got Fox going shooting 38% from the three this year, 27 points per game, around averaging around 6 assists per game. You have what's his face, Sabonis almost leading the league. I think he is actually leading the league in rebounds right now, and almost averaging a triple double too. Now that I'm thinking about it, shooting 62% from the field, which is insanely good, almost 70%. Leads the league in double doubles and has played in every single game. So
Put him in there
I'm
instead of
surprised,
Cat.
huh?
I put him in there over the Cat.
Exactly. And I've said this before. The best ability is availability.
Hmm.
So I definitely think for the West, I think Sabonis should have been in there. I don't think I'm like too crazy for Fox. Um, Harden, I get it. Um, when the Clippers offense literally goes to the moon whenever he's on the court,
Hmm.
and shooting, what's it called? His 3-point percentage is 41% right now, going
Hmm.
crazy for this squad. They're tied for first seed,
Yeah, I
playing the
think one of the
Timberwolves right
reasons why
now.
he's not an All Star is probably because his slow start to the year to get acclimated to the Clippers when he first got traded.
Mm,
Like that's probably a big reason for it. But you can't deny that man's a baller. You know, he's out there hooping right now.
not for real. And then one more guy from the West. I have Jamal Murray. I don't
Hmm.
really have like a true pure reason on why he should be there.
I
But
understand why.
it's been like so long. And the only time he got voted into an All-Star game was the year he tore his ACL. And um what was it? He's been in the league for 8 seasons. So and he's still never been in an All-Star game. I think the longest other guys like Mike Conley, he hasn't been in All-Star. He didn't get to All-Star game until like year 14. And he went in for a guy who was injured. So it was crazy. But from the East, I'm gonna be biased, but even though like it wouldn't happen, Derek White has been playing lights out all season. Don't look at me like that, Jaden. Don't look at me like that. Derek White has been nice, but if someone were to literally give me a coin or like give me a choice between Jalen Brown and Derek White, I'm gonna choose Jalen Brown. So I'm not gonna say it was like crazy, but it would be cool to see Derek White
If
from
you had to remove anyone for Derek White, who would you remove from the?
the East.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. Is it like you want me to choose from like a guard perspective?
Could you
Remove a guard.
remove anybody? Or yeah, remove from a guard perspective.
Um,
Because you got Trey Young, Mitch, Donovan Mitchell, Brunson, Brown.
I would probably not even like if I had to do it, I'd probably choose like Brunson. And I like Brunson, but you keep looking at me like this. Like I'm not. It's a hard decision. I like Brunson. He's tough, but I think Trey's better than Brunson. I think Maxey's better than Brunson, and Donovan Mitchell's definitely better than Brunson. So, and those three guys are better than Derek White too. So I gotta go. I gotta go from the last one out of the pack. You feel
No,
me?
no, Brunson's been playing great all year. I couldn't take Brunson off. All of them, I probably
If it was anybody else,
I
I'd
couldn't.
choose Maxey.
Hmm?
If it was anybody else, I'd choose Maxey because Brunson, him and Maxey have like the same stats,
Yeah.
other than Brunson averaging 2 more
And
points.
he was trying to say earlier, where's Bam at? Bam's an all-star. So Bam's been here. Bam's the only
Bro,
consistent
I was
one on our
just
team right
talking
now.
my cash, bro.
Nah. Bam's out here. Bam's repping the Heat, the whole Heat team. You feel me?
Well, we got two guys representing the Celtics, so
Okay, y'all suck.
First team to
Y'all
40 wins,
sorry.
baby.
Y'all sorry. Okay.
But yeah, and that's gonna go ahead wrap up our episode this week. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in today, thank you. If you tune into any other episodes, appreciate y'all. And what you got to say, Jaden?
Hey, right now in the NFL, every team is 0 and 0. And so what I'm seeing is the Eagles are undefeated right now.
The
And then
Chicago Bears are on the clock.
and look. We gonna see y'all next year in St. Louis. No, what not St. Louis.
It's
What
in
the
New
hell?
Orleans.
New Orleans. In New Orleans. We'll see y'all next year in New Orleans. You know, I saw the logo. It was green and red. That's the Super Bowl rematch between the Eagles and Chiefs. And the Eagles are finna come out on top. And
That's
then
Green.
you know what
That's
else?
Green Bay, little bro.
Nah. Green Bay.
That,
Green
that
Bay.
that's Green Bay, little bro.
Green Bay. Okay. Nah, that's definitely what's it called? It's Arizona and the Jets.
But you know how bad I'd have to like crash out over that, bro. That'd be so bad.
But also, you know, I got the NBA script leaked for the NBA finals. I won't say it just yet. You know, we gotta let it marinate, gotta let it cook, gotta let the season play out. But just know I know who's gonna win the NBA finals. And I'll tell y'all when it's playoff time. So beware, be cautious. And Jalen, you wanna hit him with the thing? Hit him with the thing.
All right, y'all. We go ahead out. So I'm gonna hit y'all with some advice real quick. Stay off drugs. Stay away from ridiculously pretty girls. We out.
All right, catch y'all.